Welcome to I Wrote This News. Today is February 25, 2022. Buckle up, here comes some news. Story number 1, we're only here for the donuts, Comrade. In explaining why he's ordering an invasion, Russian President Vladimir Putin says that Ukraine is an illegitimate country and has always been part of Russia. But Alabama Senator, former football coach, and nearly compelling proof that we are all living in a simulation being run by a teenage kid, Tommy Tuberville, says not so fast. During a presentation at the Montgomery Chamber of Commerce, Tuberville discussed the escalating tensions between Russia and Ukraine. He claims that a large part of Vladimir Putin's desire for further annexation of Ukrainian land is due to the amount of farmland in Ukraine. Tuberville asserted that Putin, quote, can't feed his people. It's a communist country, so he can't feed his people, so they need more farmland. In reality, Russia isn't technically a communist country, and it exports nearly twice as much wheat as does the non-communist United States. Canada, which has a publicly funded universal healthcare system and a national minimum wage, also exports more wheat than the U.S. Tuberville also noted the need to strengthen the U.S. military, and for dispensing with the, quote, woke prerogatives of the U.S. Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin. Tuberville said, quote, I'm tired of hearing about we need to change our military to where they're woke, to where they need to listen to the federal government, and we need to educate them on things that have nothing to do with the military. Secretary Austin, we need a killing machine, not that we want to kill anybody, but people know that we will kill them if they come here and if they mess with us. The 2021 U.S. defense budget rose by more than 4% over that for 2020. No foreign government has launched an attack on United States soil since World War II. The U.S. Capitol, however, was attacked by Trump supporters hoping to disrupt the democratic elections process last year. After that attack, Tuberville objected to certifying the Electoral College votes in Arizona and Pennsylvania. February 25th is the 56th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. 309 days remain until the end of the year. Now it's time for On This Date in History. On this date in 1870, Hiram Rhodes Revels, a Republican from Mississippi, is sworn into the United States Senate, becoming the first African American ever to sit in Congress. When Revels arrived in Washington, D.C., Southern Democrats in office opposed seating him in the Senate. For the 2 days of debate, the Senate galleries were packed with spectators at this historic event. The Democrats based their opposition on the 1857 Dred Scott decision by the U.S. Supreme Court, which ruled that people of African ancestry were not and could not be citizens. They argued that no black man was a citizen before the 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868, and thus Revels could not satisfy the requirement of the Senate for 9 years prior citizenship. On February 25, 1870, Revels, on a party line vote of 48-8, with Republicans voting in favor and Democrats voting against, became the first African American to be seated in the United States Senate. Everyone in the gallery stood to see him sworn in. On this date in 1941, the outlawed Communist Party of the Netherlands organizes the, quote, February strike in Amsterdam to protest against Nazi persecution of Dutch Jews. The direct causes of the strike were a series of arrests and pogroms held by the Germans in the Jewish neighborhood of Amsterdam, the Jodenbuurt. The strike started on February 25, 1941 and lasted for 2 days. On the 26th of February, 300 people joined the strike. The strike was harshly suppressed by the Germans after 3 days. The 1941 February strike is considered to be the first public protest against the Nazis in occupied Europe, and the only mass protest against the deportation of Jews to be organized by non-Jews. Celebrating birthdays today are journalist Bob Schieffer, basketballer Kurt Rambis, Olympic kayaker Birgit Fisher, and actor Sean Astin. Happy birthday to all of them, and if your birthday is today, a very happy birthday to you as well. By the way, if you or someone you know is having a birthday and would like us to announce it on the show, leave us a voice message or send an email. The links are in the show notes. Today's news was brought to us by AL.com, 1819 News, The Washington Post, and the only website that I like more than a fresh loaf of Ukrainian bread, Wikipedia. If you have a comment or a question about anything you've heard today, or if you have a suggestion, please send us a note at I Wrote This News, all one word, at thatradioshow.com. That email address one more time is I Wrote This News, all one word, at thatradioshow.com.
One more thing, if this podcast sounds a little funny, that's because it's also an experiment. All of the vocals were generated using AI technology. Hopefully the show will sound different and better as the tech improves and as we improve at using it. I'm Bob Neese, hoping you have an amazing day. We'll get together again soon.